As I've been telling you, the Democrats no longer wish to be Americans. They have flooded the United States with foreign nationals, criminals, foreign military, and terrorists. They did this with the goal of creating chaos, terror, and a voting majority that would shred the U.S. Constitution in favor of their worldview, totalitarian government control over you. They flung open the borders and subjected Americans to unspeakable violence and cultural upheaval. Now that the America First coalition is in charge and seeking to reverse all of that lawless anti-American damage, the left, with full support from Democrats, are willing to shoot to kill to prevent the restoration of the rule of law. Democrats embrace violence. That's my focus in a guest-driven preamble. To give you an idea of who and what Democrats are these days, let me start off with the deadly floods in my home state of Texas. This is a picture of two sisters, Blair and Brooke Harbor, ages 13 and 11. They were sleeping in a riverside cabin in Hunt, Texas, with their grandparents when their cabin was swept away by floodwaters. They were found 15 miles away in Kerrville. The family said, quote, "When they were found, their hands were locked together," end quote. In response to this tragedy and many others like it, the left has gone political. Symbolic of the sadism that defines Democrats and leftists, local reports show that a Houston pediatrician is no longer employed after she put out a hate-filled statement about the victims of the flood and who she thought they voted for. The Post read, quote, "May all visitors, children, non-MAGA voters, and pets be safe and dry. Kerr County MAGA voted to gut FEMA. They deny climate change. May they get what they voted for. Bless their hearts," end quote. That's who and what leftists are. You'd expect nothing less from the party and ideology that is responsible for the slaughter of an estimated 66 million babies in the womb since 1973. But these inhuman monsters are taking things much farther. In defense of criminal illegal aliens, the mayor of Los Angeles, who has let her city burn twice, condemned the enforcement of law, calling it, quote, outrageous, and then calling it, quote, un-American. Let that sink in. She, Karen Bass, is calling the activity of America's government enforcing America's laws un-American. In truth, it is Democrats who forced government to break U.S. law who are un-American. And Democrats are the threat to American safety. DHS says that a San Antonio City Council candidate, Matthew Ghana, called for the shooting of ICE agents on the streets of Los Angeles. The self-described Democrat political consultant said, quote, "I want to see a few dead ICE agents, Los Angeles. Don't let me down," end quote. And it looks like this continued violence and calls for violence by Democrats is having their desired effect. Over the Independence Day weekend, a group of far-left extremists attacked the ICE detention facility in Alvarado, Texas. One officer was shot in the neck by a gunman hiding in the nearby woods. Another suspect in a green mask fired 20 to 30 rounds at unarmed corrections officers outside that facility. According to the Justice Department, 10 suspects have been charged with attempted murder of federal officers and using firearms during a violent crime. A violent crime called for by Democrats, encouraged by Democrats, all in defense of criminal illegal aliens and illegal alien foreign nationals. Over in left-wing opinion media, not only does CNN's Wolf Blitzer refuse to condemn Democrats' calls for blood in an effort to stop the enforcement of U.S. law, the top Democrat in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, refusing to condemn the violence or to call on his Democrats to stop promoting and undertaking it.
According to Axios, some are even being told they need to be more willing to go out there and get shot when fighting. That was a direct quote, get shot when fighting back against some of Trump's policies. One House Democrat saying, quote, and I'll read it to you, "Our own base is telling us that what we're doing is not good enough. There needs to be blood to grab the attention of the press and the public." How do you respond to that, Leader Jeffries? Are Democrats not meeting the moment, not doing enough to fight these developments?
Well, we are in a more is more environment in terms of the unprecedented assault on the American way of life and our country that has been launched by Donald Trump and compliant House Republicans.
Great question, Wolf Blitzer. Are Democrats not spilling enough blood? You know, I don't know about you, but I no longer wish to accept or tolerate Democrats' violence in defense of illegal alien criminals, thugs, and lawbreakers. Democrats are using violence to achieve their political goals. You know, there's a word for that. It's terrorism. I'm an American, and the Socialist-Democrat Party stands in stark contrast to who and what I am as a citizen of this country. And as the polls show, with a big majority supporting being rid of all illegal aliens in our country, I think the American majority is with me. Where are you? You know, folks, I thank God for my wonderful wife, my kids, my country, the greatest nation ever. And Americans like you who believe in the truth, the Chris Salcedo Show will never stop fighting for you.
The Chris Salcedo Show, for the news you need to know.